Good morning, students. How are you? Hope you all are fit and fine. And today in SST, we will start the new chapter, that is chapter number 4, the Northern Plains. The Northern Plains, it is one of our important landmark, a major landscape. So, the Northern Plain, it lies to the south of the Northern Mountains. In our previous chapter, we had studied about the Northern Mountains. That is one of our physical division. This is the another important physical division or important landmark, the Northern Plains, and it lies just south to the Northern Mountains. The Northern Plain extends from Punjab in the west to Assam in the east, and that is the most fertile region of our country. Agriculture is the main occupation of the people living in the northern plains. So the northern plains, it has been formed by the three major rivers. And which are the three major rivers? River Indus, River Ganga, and River Brahmaputra. These are the three major rivers that flow through the northern plains, and these are the rivers which make the northern plains fertile. Now, how these rivers make the northern plain fertile? So these rivers, when they originate through the Himalayan mountains and when they flow, so at that time they carry sand and silt with them and deposit on the bank of the rivers or in the surrounding areas in the northern plains. So whatever minerals, sand or silt which are brought down by these rivers when they flow through the northern mountains, so they deposit all the sand and silt on the banks of the rivers in the northern plains and in the surrounding areas, which makes the northern plain fertile. This makes the soil fertile, and this soil is known as the alluvial soil. That is the most fertile soil found in the northern plains. The three rivers, River Indus, River Ganga, and River Brahmaputra. These three rivers divide the northern plains into three river basins. Now, what is the meaning of basin? A basin is an area watered by a river and its tributaries. Any area that is watered by a particular river and its tributaries, that is known as the basin of that river. So, the northern plain is divided into three basins: Indus basin, Ganga basin, and Brahmaputra basin. Now, the meaning of tributaries, that what are tributaries? So, tributaries are the smaller rivers which flow and after that they merge with the bigger rivers. They join the big rivers and then they flow. So let's study about the northern plains. So the northern plain, it is divided into three river basins, and the three river basins are Indus basin, Ganga basin, and Brahmaputra basin. So now we will study about one by one all the basins. So the first is the Indus basin. So here is the Indus basin. The Indus basin, it is formed by river Indus and its tributaries. Now I have already told you the meaning of tributaries, the smaller rivers which flows and then join the big rivers. So which are the tributaries of river Indus? Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Vyas and Satluj. These are the tributaries of river Indus. Most of the part of this river basin is in Pakistan. Most of the river basin. It means in this river, it originates through the Himalayas and after that it flows to the western side of the country and after that it goes to Pakistan. It flows to Pakistan. So most of the river basin of this river is in Pakistan. In India, Indus basin covers the state of Punjab and Haryana. These are the state Punjab and Haryana which are covered by the Indus basin, and the two states are drained by river Satluj. These are the two states Punjab and Haryana which are the part of Indus basin, and river Satluj flow through the states. So these are the states which are drained by the river Satluj. And this river provides the water for irrigation, and Bhangra Nangal Dam is also constructed on the river Satluj, that is very useful in that area because it gives the water, it supply the water for irrigation, and it is also used to produce electricity. After that, the major crops, that which are the major crops which are grown here in the Indus basin. So the major crops that are grown here are wheat, rice, cotton, sugarcane, millets, oilseeds and pulses. These are the major crops which are grown in this Indus basin. Now the next basin, that is Ganga basin. After Indus basin, the second basin is the Ganga basin, and the Ganga basin covers the state of Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and West Bengal. The tributaries of river Ganga. Which are the tributaries of river Ganga? So here are the tributaries of river Ganga: Gandak, Gomati, Ghagra, Kosi, Chambal, Sindh, Betwa and Son. These are the tributaries of river Ganga. These are the smaller rivers which flows, and after that they joins the river Ganga, and then they flow towards. River Ganga meets river Yamuna at the place Allahabad. River Ganga and river Yamuna both joins or both meets at the place Allahabad, and this place is also known as Sangam. On reaching West Bengal, on the reaching of West Bengal, river Ganga divides into several branches. River Ganga, it divides into several branches, and the two main branches are the Hooghly and the Padma river. These are the two branches of the river Ganga in West Bengal, the Hooghly river and the Padma river. The river Padma enters in Bangladesh, and here it joins the river Jamuna. River Jamuna, it is the largest branch of the river Brahmaputra, and at this stage the river make the largest delta in the world, that is the Sundarban delta, before entering in the Bay of Bengal. Delta. Now what is a delta? A delta is a triangular shaped area which is formed by the several branches of the rivers. So before entering in the sea or ocean, a river divides into several branches or several streams, and that area is called the delta. After that, the crops, that which are the crops which are grown here in the Ganga basin. So the major crops that are grown here are wheat, rice, jute, sugarcane, millets, etc. These are the crops which are grown in the Indus basin. Now the third basin, that is the Brahmaputra basin. After the Ganga basin, the third basin is the Brahmaputra basin. The Brahmaputra basin, it covers the state of Assam and Tripura. It originates in Tibet. River Brahmaputra, it originates in Tibet, and there it is known as Sangpo. This river, this river Brahmaputra, in Tibet, it is known as Sangpo. It enters in India through Arunachal Pradesh. After that, it flows through the Assam, and at last it enters in Bay of Bengal. This delta receives the highest rainfall in the world. We know that the eastern part of our country receives the highest rainfall. So this is the Brahmaputra basin which receives the highest rainfall in the world. And the major crops which are grown here are jute and rice. These are the major crops which are grown in this Brahmaputra basin. So these are the three river basins: river Indus, river Ganga and river Brahmaputra, which divides the northern plain into the three basins. And we had studied about the meaning of basin, that basin, it is an area that is watered by the particular river and its tributaries. So we had studied about the states also which are drained or which are watered by these rivers. After that, the next topic is the population density. That why the northern plains are much populated, why the population is too much in the northern plains comparison to the another landscapes like the mountain regions, desert, or the plateau regions. Comparison to another landscapes, we have dense population in the northern plains. So why? So we know that the northern plain is the region that is flat and extremely fertile, and this region produces the large quantity of food crops or food grains, and that's why the northern plain is also known as the food bowl of India. Many cities and towns are there which developed near the river banks or which developed in the northern plains, which leads to the dense population like Delhi, Chandigarh, Ludhiana, Amritsar, after that Agra, Mathura, Varanasi, Kolkata, Lucknow, Allahabad. What are these? These are some of the important cities and towns. Not only this, there are so many important cities and towns, but these are some of them. So this area leads to the dense population just because of the important cities and towns which developed here. After that, we know that the factories and industries can easily develop in the plain areas and mostly developed near the river banks. Factories or industries are developed in those areas from where they can easily get the raw material. So in the northern plains, the factories can easily get their raw material from the agriculture and also get the water from the rivers. So that's why many factories and industries developed in this region in the northern plains, which also leads to dense population because people from the another parts of our country, they come and settle in the northern plains because they easily get the proper job there, a good job in the factories and industries. And it is the most fertile region. Most of the population of northern plains engaged in the agriculture. Agriculture means not only the growing crops, but agriculture also includes the rearing of animals, the domestication of animals, that the people, those who are engaged in agriculture, those who are engaged in the cultivation of land, along with that, they also rearing the animals. They also have their farms, large dairy farms or poultry farms. So this domestication of animals or rearing of animals also include in agriculture. It is very easy to build the roadways and railways in the plain areas, in the plain regions. So there are so many facilities which get people in the northern plains. So that's why northern plains are dense populated comparison to the another landscapes. After that, the next is pollution of rivers. That the river northern plain, it is made up of three rivers, river Indus, river Ganga and river Brahmaputra. But we have already seen, and now also we see that how these rivers are filled with the waste materials, lots of garbages, the lots of waste materials dumped into the water bodies from the factories or industries. So mostly the waste materials that are dumped in the river, that are discarded by the factories or industries which have been constructed near the river banks. So these factories and industries, they throw their waste materials in the water bodies in the rivers, which makes the water dirty, that is not useful for the irrigation, and it is also unfit for drinking for animals. So many projects have been undertaken by our government to keep these rivers neat and clean, and our government is also trying the best to reduce the pollution, and it is also the responsibility of the human beings or the living beings, those who are living in a country, that we should keep our environment neat and clean, not to throw the waste material or not to throw the garbage here and there or in the water bodies. We should dump all the waste materials to their proper place. So this is the chapter about the northern plains. So the northern plain, it is one of our important landscape which lies to the south of the northern mountains. It starts from Punjab in the western direction to the Assam in the east. And this region, the northern plains, is fertile just because of the alluvial soil that is found in this region, and this soil is brought down by the rivers which flow through these plains. And when these rivers flow through the northern mountains, they carry mineral sand and silt with them and deposit on the bank of the rivers and in the surrounding areas, which makes the soil fertile or which makes the northern plain fertile. And that soil is the alluvial soil. And this region, the northern plain, it is divided into three basins by the three rivers. The three rivers in this Ganga Brahmaputra, these three rivers divide the plain into three basins. Basin, it is an area that is watered by a particular river or its tributaries. Or tributaries are the smaller rivers which flow and joins the big rivers. And we had studied about all the river basins: Indus basin, Ganga basin and Brahmaputra basin. We had studied about all the river basins, and after that in the population density, that why the northern plains are thickly populated, and the pollution of rivers, that what is the major source of the pollution of rivers. So that is the factories and industries which discard their waste material into the water bodies. So this is the chapter number 4. Learn this chapter, read this chapter. Thank you.